Ba-ba-da-ba-da-dum. Hello and welcome to another live English lesson here on the AM Language YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing well. It's a Friday, which is always a good day. Okay, well, you could still have a bad day, but Fridays are usually good days. It's the end of the week. You have the weekend to look forward to. And if you're in Malta, then you probably, well, the weather's actually okay, to be honest. I mean, Malta's having some nice weather. I don't think Malta have really had a winter. I don't think we can say that it's had a winter. I think, if anything, next week it's going to be the start of it's the last week of February. Then we're into March. And I think spring is going to be very early in Malta this year. However, if you are not in Malta and you are in a Northern European country, for example, then you're probably going to feel cold and wet. Yeah, that's it really on the weather front. However, on the English front, this week we've looked at quite a bit of language. Irina F, Privyet, good afternoon, and thank you for joining as always. Much appreciated. Today we're going to look at modifiers on the subject of music taste. So there's a little bit of grammar, but I'm going to try and encourage more of a discussion today about music and music taste in general. We'll see how far we can go on that subject. If we need to change the subject, then we will do. But there's lots of different occasions for music, and we will talk about that type of music for these different occasions, depending on what you would call your mood. For instance, the type of music you want to listen to if you are exercising, just relaxing at home, driving. Driving music is a big one for me. I really enjoy listening to music while driving. Actually, I have a list of favorite bands to listen to whilst driving. If I had to say which band is my favorite band whilst driving, I would say number one has to be AC/DC for me. Absolutely love AC/DC while driving. Leodina says, hi, Richard. Good afternoon. Buon pomeriggio. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson, Leodina. As always, thank you for joining. Hope you've had a good week. Evelina, you too. Buon pomeriggio. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you for joining. Hope you've had a good week. Yeah, on the subject of this week, yesterday we looked at the present tense, and it was a grammar challenge. We looked at lots of different types of grammar in the present. Wednesday we looked at the difference between the infinitive and the gerund. And then earlier on in the week we looked at some noun verbs as well. So it's been quite heavy on the grammar front. So today, hopefully with the modifiers, there'll be a little bit of grammar because it is a little bit, but I'm hoping that we can end up having a good conversation where we actually we engage a little bit more with our thoughts in general. So the first thing that you probably want to ask is, Richard, what are modifiers? Okay, what do we mean? Well, it's not all that difficult, really, in the grand scheme of things. But when you first come across it, it might be a little bit difficult. Noella, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. So, what is a modifier? What are modifiers? More accurately. See, I've already got a song in my head. I've got a song by Kiss called I Wanna Rock and Roll All Night, Every Day. Da 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 da. So modifiers. Working definition for the word modify is to change or to alter something. So it's to change something about whatever we're talking about. Um, Now it can go on a little bit more. We can say this, for example. Let me break this up. Yeah, I can break this up like this, actually. Nope. I'm going to have to do it like this. So a modifier changes, clarifies. Clarifies means to make clear. Okay. Qualifies, similar sort of thing, or limits a particular word in a sentence in order to add emphasis, explanation, or detail. Now, just to make sure you guys all understand this, okay, if we use the word clarifies, okay, or to clarify something, what we mean is to make something clear, okay? This is to make whatever we're talking about clearer. That's the first thing. Qualifies, if you qualify, when you qualifies or to uh, qualify something, um, why is it not doing that? Yeah, this is when you make, like, when you emphasize um, either subject or your point. Okay, so this is when you're talking and someone asks you, wait a minute, what are we talking about exactly? And that's when you qualify. So that's what we mean by qualifying. To qualify is to make it absolutely clear what you are talking about. Clarifies this to make something clearer as well. So the two are very closely linked. So let's say we're talking about breakfast and you want me to qualify what are we talking about, I would say I'm talking about having eggs at breakfast. And what I'm saying is that eggs are a healthy thing to eat at breakfast. It's simply trying to make whatever you're talking about much, much clearer. So, uh, example. Okay. Example sentence, okay? Sarah was a sure fit for junior promotion, okay? Now, the modifier here is when we're adding this term sure fit. We're emphasizing when we say a sure fit, for example, okay, sure fit, we're saying that we were you're really saying you thought it was obvious, really. You thought this was going to happen. So Sarah was a sure fit for junior promotion. And when you introduce something like this is when you're going to emphasize it because it's adding meaning, extra meaning to whatever you're talking about. Now, like I said, a modifier can take on many different types of language. Okay, it usually can attach itself to an adjective. It can attach itself to an adverb, for example. So let's say we go with this. I'm going to give you a list here. Okay, some common modifiers. I think that's a good way of looking at it. Let's start off with a list. These are some examples. You can say just, almost, hardly, at first, simply. These are modifiers. These are very common modifiers. Sure is another modifier. You can see here that you've got, I mean, adverbs without question, so you've got, if you use words like hardly or rarely, these are modifiers. They are adding extra meaning to what you're talking about. So let's have a little look. Can I think of a good example that makes this even clearer? Okay, I'll give you an example. They won the game. They just won the game. Okay? Which of these sentences implies, which means suggests, that the game was close? Okay? So they won the game. They just won the game. Which of these sentences implies that the game was close? And it's because of a modifier. Let's see. So which one do you think? Is it the first one, they won the game, or is it the second one, they just won? The second one, says Leondina, and that is correct. That tells us that, okay, this game was actually quite close. Yes, correct, Noella. Perfect. Okay, let me ask you a different question. Um, A, it was hardly difficult. Sorry, it was difficult. B, it was hardly difficult. Which one suggests the action was easy? So you've got it was difficult, and then you've got it was hardly difficult. Which one suggests the action was easy? Is it A or B? Noella, you are correct. Yes, it is B, because hardly is now giving us the impression that this wasn't actually that difficult. Perfect. Excellent. Well done. Let's go for one more. Let's go for, okay, A. Okay, A and B. Which sentence emphasizes or stresses? Let's go with the word stresses. Okay, so which sentence stresses that the main point is that the action was not at the basic level? I could change that to wasn't to didn't meet the basic. Let me change that. Wasn't let me change them. Let me make that even clearer. Which sentence stresses that the main point is that the action didn't meet the basic standards expected? So this would be like a race. And anyone who can be considered for the team, anyone who can, the basic entry level point is to do 100 meters in 15 seconds. That is the basic standard of acceptance. And yes, you guys are all saying A. Exactly. It simply wasn't good enough. Excellent. Perfect. So let's see if we can think of a few more. We've got just, we've got simply, we've got sure. We can also add something like we've got other words like eat. Let's go for one more. Actually, A, and then we'll get onto the subject of music. I forgot. I just realized in my previous question, I forgot to put a question mark. That should have been a question mark there. So I put the question mark this time round. Which suggests, or which sentence? Actually, I should put really which sentence. Which sentence suggests? Which sentence suggests that it was below a certain standard? Is it A, it wasn't even as good as McDonald's, or it wasn't as good as McDonald's? Which one do you think it is? And then we can get into our actual activity and we'll see what modifiers you guys come out with. Mm, good, well done. Yes. Do you guys agree with Lee and Dina? Is it A? Noella says A, Irina F says A. Brilliant. Okay. And that's it. That is what modifiers are. We're just always adding. But the important thing from a pronunciation point of view is that you're going to emphasize it in your speech. So you wouldn't just say it wasn't even as good as McDonald's. You would say it wasn't even as good as McDonald's. You're not going to say it simply wasn't good enough. You're going to say it simply wasn't good enough. Um, you're not going to say it was hardly difficult. You're going to say it was hardly difficult. It's really important that when you speak, you emphasize it in your speech. You've got to stress it because that's why you're using it. You're emphasizing something. So it comes in with emphasis stress as well. Now, there's one other type thing that I want to point out, and that is when you get something wrong with modifiers. Okay. Okay. Misplaced modifiers. Okay. Which one is which sentence is wrong? Okay, which sentence is wrong? Is it A? Or is it B? So A, they bought a car for my sister they call Pumpkin. They bought a car they call Pumpkin for my sister. Which sentence is wrong? I want to make something, I want to emphasize something here. The car's name is Pumpkin. So that is going to, the car's name is Pumpkin, just to make it clear. And you're saying A. A. Excellent. Yes. A. Sentence. Yes. Good. Well done. Sentence A is incorrect. Now, the reason being here is that we've put the modifier they call, okay, they call Pumpkin. We've put it in, they've put it in the wrong place. That, because in the sentence A, it says, they bought a car for my sister they call Pumpkin. That gives us the idea that they call their sister Pumpkin, which is not the point. They call is the modifier in this case, okay? They call, in this case, is the modifier. In this, okay? What's happening here for me? There we go. They call, in this case, is the modifier because they are clarifying something. They're clarifying that the car is called Pumpkin. So that's why the answer here is B. They bought a car they call Pumpkin for my sister. Good. Well done, guys. Let's get into our discussion now that we have some examples. Just to remind you guys, don't forget, so you can use words like just, simply, sure, hardly, rare. Wait a minute. There we go. Hardly, not the one before. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, these are what you would regularly go, rarely, I suppose, as well. Even. These are some of the examples we've looked at when it comes to modifiers. So one of the things I would say is, let's start off with music taste. Okay, we're going to go in with this, but I want to ask you about different moods. Okay, so different moods of music taste. So I'm going to give you an example and then you guys can come in. So what I would say is, if I'm going to give this as an example, okay, let's take AC/DC because I started off with AC/DC at the beginning. Okay, so AC/DC, they, for me, okay, for me, they are simply one of the best bands to listen to whilst driving. So what I've done here is, you can see, I've put in my modifier, simply. Leondina says, sorry, Richard, but I have to go. Stay safe and have a nice weekend. You're welcome, Leondina. Have a good weekend. See you next week. Take care. So, for instance, in my case, I would write, for me, they are simply one of the best bands to listen to whilst driving, not whilst to driving, whilst driving. And that would be, that's how I've used my modifier. What about you guys? What are your favorite bands to listen to when driving? Okay, so that's my question. And come in, let me know what you guys think. Okay. So what are your favorite bands to listen to when driving? So let me know in the live chat section, come in and try and use some modifiers. In fact, please try and use at least one modifier in your sentence to let me know about your music taste when driving. I think another good band would be Muse. I think Muse are a good band to listen to when driving. I like sort of these sort of rock. I like rock music when driving. What would be the best song? Oh gosh, actually, that's a good one. What's the best driving? Actually, let me know. What is the best driving song? Noella says Queen is for sure one of the best bands to listen to while driving. Excellent sentence, Noella. Really good use of sure as well. Queen is for sure one of the best bands to listen to while driving. Really good sentence. Really good use of the word of the modifier sure. Good stuff. Queen is good. I suppose what would be a good Queen song? I suppose "Don't Stop Me Now." That would probably be a good one. Don't stop me now, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. Yeah, I think that's probably a good one. I think for me, one of my favorite driving songs. Ooh, let's see. More people with more answers. Oh, Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo. Yeah, that's probably a very good driving song, actually. Arena says that she agrees. Evelina says Muse, Oasis, U2. You know what? When it comes to U2, I would say let me know what your favorite songs are. So for me, I would say okay, Back in Black by AC/DC. Back in Black, hit the deck. I'm glad to know that I've been back. I've forgotten the words. U2, one of my favorite songs when driving with U2 is a song called Beautiful Day. If you are driving and it's a beautiful day, it's a perfect song. It's a beautiful day, dun 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 da 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 da. It's a beautiful day. Muse, really good band. What Knights of Sidonia is a really good one, or Hysteria. Gosh, there's so many for Muse. Oasis. Now, I have a thing with Oasis. Okay, I would say, and it's mainly to do with songs like Wonderwall. Okay, so Wonderwall, you're my Wonderwall, is simply overplayed, and I know I no longer like the song. Yeah, I'm using the modifier simply. Why am I not such a fan of Oasis? Well, it's because of the song Wonderwall. Um, they do have other songs which are good, but Wonderwall, it's such an annoying song, and the reason why is because it's simply overplayed, and I no longer like the song. And I think that's that's one of the biggest problems with very popular songs, is that they are overplayed. I can think of other bands that I like that that end up with the same problem, like "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses, simply overplayed. I think I've heard that song so many times in my life that if the introduction is so famous, it's simply overplayed. Um, Actually, a song that I now really don't I don't like, which I really liked when it came out, and it was overplayed. Overplayed. We could actually say the song was killed. Okay. If we say the song was killed, it means it was overplayed, and to the point where I don't want to hear the song again. And that was Perfect. Now, when Ed Sheeran came out with Perfect, I thought Perfect was a really good song, and I really liked the version with the Italian opera singer Bocelli. I thought it was a really good song. But everywhere you went, people were playing it. And at the end of it, I thought, I can't hear the song again. I've heard it too many times. A Beautiful Day is a really good one. Okay, let's go for a slightly different one. What are your Bocelli is fantastic. I agree. What are your favorite songs when you want to relax in a nice environment? Okay. Now the environment can be indoors, it can be outdoors. I'm going to say, for instance, um, I'm going to say, here we go. Um, Here we go. So for me, I'm going to say Shine On You Crazy Diamond by Pink Floyd is easily one of the best tunes to listen to. Now here I've gone with easily, which is my modifier. I am emphasizing, and because I think at sunset on a beach, let's say you're in Malta and it's getting late into the day, the sun is setting. Play Shine On You Crazy Diamond. It's brilliant. Evelina says, when I want to relax, my favorite song is Follow the Sun. Okay, very good. See if you can rewrite that sentence, Evelina, with a modifier. Have a little think. Maybe try and write the sentence with easily. Try and write that sentence actually for me with easily. Noella says, when I need to chill out, I love to listen to Nora Jones. Her voice is just fantastic. Good use of the word just as your modifier. I agree. Nora Jones is excellent. For me, Nora Jones is one of my favorite artists to listen to in the evening if I want to create a very relaxed environment. Her voice is just fantastic. I do agree. Um, I'm trying to now think of a song. Katie Melua, yeah, Katie Melua's got a lovely voice as well. She's come out with quite a lot of songs. I think Katie Melua. Which song do I remember from Katie by Katie Melua? There are 9 billion No, is it 9 billion? Can't be 9 billion. Maybe it is 9 million. No, can't be 9 million. There are 9 billion bicycles in Beijing. Da 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 da. Yeah, I think that's a Katie Melua song. Good stuff. Okay, right. Let's go with. Okay, artists you can't stand. Okay, when you say can't stand, really don't like. I Will Be There in my favorite. Is that a song by Katie Melua? Let me know. So artists you can't stand. I've got a few artists that I can't stand. It's not to say that they're bad artists. Yes, it is a song. Okay, cool. I think I will go and check it out. Now, I'm going to mention one artist. I actually think he's quite a good musician. And there are some songs that I think are good. But generally speaking, I can't stand him. Okay. And it's Justin Bieber. I can't stand Justin Bieber. And there's a reason for it. Um, he's simply too cringing for me. Now, uh, cringing is when there's something you find something embarrassing about what you're watching or you're listening to, and you sort of go, "Oh gosh, no, no, no." And I think it's because I find Justin as a character, as a person, cringing. I find him a little bit too cringing, and I think that's why. But I actually think he is actually a good musician. Um, but I just find him simply too cringing. I think another one would be what's her name? Nicki Minaj. Minaj music. Nicki Minaj. I think that's how you spell her name. Minaj's songs aren't even about the quality of music. That's what I would say. My modifier here is even. They aren't even about the quality of music. So I think Nicki Minaj's songs like Anaconda, it's not about it's not about the music, it's about the music video. It's trying to sell something else. So I would say in that case that would be an example of saying it's not even about the music. It's not even about the quality of the music because the focus is something else. So those are some examples. Let me know if there are any artists that you can't stand. Um, I can think of songs. If you like, if you can't think of an artist, you can always change it to a song. Um, like let's say what song can't I stand? Um, there's an awful song on the internet called Friday. Friday, Friday, gonna get down on Friday. Can't stand it. Terrible, terrible song. But yeah, let me know if there's any music that you can't stand. Um, I'm trying to think of some more. You know what it is? You don't, well, I don't listen to a lot of, I very rarely actually listen to any music that I don't like. So I tend to forget what the names are of various songs. Actually, you know, one song, I'm going to surprise some people here. People, now I quite like I mean, I do like the Beatles and I like a lot of their music. Um, I think once, but there's certain songs that you've heard so much in your life that you can no longer stand it. But that's going back to something else that I said before, like when a song is killed. Noella says, I can't stand the girl that won the Eurovision contest. She's really awful. I'm trying to remember who it was. Is this the woman from Israel? The one who sang the chicken song? I'm not your boy. No, I'm not your girl. What is it? I'm not your girl. Stupid boy, you stupid boy. You stupid boy. I'm not your girl. Oh yes, you think that one. Yeah, I thought that was a joke. when I first heard when I first saw that song, I thought it was a comedy. I thought it was just a joke. I didn't think it was a genuine song for the music song contest. And it turned out it was. And to me, that just says, well, that's really, I don't know. To me, I can't take the Eurovision seriously. I don't think I've taken it seriously. I can't remember the last time I ever took it seriously. Okay, I'm English. I mean, you know, we in Britain, we always finish last. We really don't take it seriously. I just think it's like a comedy show. But Noella says, I've listened to only 20 seconds and that was enough for my ears. That's really funny, actually. And nice use of the modifier, only, actually. Good stuff. Yeah, it was. But you know what? I think the Eurovision Song Contest is supposed to be just about fun. I don't think it can be about serious music or good music. Um, I don't think it's been about good music for years. I know that if you go back to the 60s, you would have had ABBA, but I just don't know. I just don't think of it as. I think of it more as like a pantomime, sort of like a comedy show, where people who can play music, who can sing, end up being really weird on stage. And there's always the usual sort of countries as well that are going to be entertaining to watch as well. And I always find it quite funny that Australia are now in the Eurovision Song Contest, because the last time I checked, Australia was nowhere near Europe. I don't know. I think the Eurovision should just become like a world vision of countries, because you've got so many countries in it that aren't even part of Europe now. Noella says, I used to be for good music in the past. In Portugal, it used to be a great music contest in the 70s and 80s. Yeah. And I think if you do go back to the 70s and 80s, it was good. I think it was a good platform for musicians to try and launch their careers. Now we have a thing in English saying one hit wonders. If someone is a wonders, okay. If someone is a one hit wonder, basically a one hit wonder is someone who comes out with, they have one good song, basically. They have one hit, that's all it is, and then you never hear them again. You never hear the name or the song again. One hit wonder, yeah. Um, I mean, I would say that I imagine. Look, I imagine most Eurovision Song Contest music artists are just one hit wonders. Um, I I I can't remember who won the Eurovision Song Contest, like 2 or 3 years ago. I wouldn't be able to tell you what the song was. If I hear it, I would recognize it. But what other songs are there from the artist? Probably, well, I won't know. And I think that's the thing. Like ABBA were very unique because they weren't a one-hit wonder. They had lots of successful albums. So the woman who won a couple of, not last year, but the year before, from Israel, I'm guessing she will be a one-hit wonder. She had one song that won the Eurovision Song Contest, and that's it, sort of thing. And I think that's the same with most of these artists. So that's a good one to know. One-hit wonder. And we have a lot of that in England as well. Like a new artist comes and then it's a one-hit wonder. They've got one good song, and that's the only song you ever hear them sing whenever they perform. I'm trying to think of some, but you know what? But they're very forgettable. You don't remember them. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure you like the video, and if you're new, subscribe. I'll be back next week, same time, 3 o'clock, with more live English lessons. And make sure you, on Monday, make sure you check the AM Language YouTube channel, because there'll be another short video that we will upload. And it's a good one as well. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now. You too, Noella. Thank you very much.